Welcome back guys to another video in Wellington. It is now the 20th of January, Saturday, and I've got some bad news for you all. Unfortunately, there has been a strange closure of train lines here in Wellington. There's a public holiday on Monday, so over the long weekend they've closed almost all the train lines. Johnsonville line is closed, Kapiti Coast line is closed, Masterton line is closed, so Melling line is closed as it usually would be anyway on weekends. So everything is closed except the Hutt Valley Line, which we're at right now, but it's not running between Wellington and Petone or something like that. I think that's the station name. So it's only doing a shuttle through the cities of Hutt. Yeah, so the Hutt Valley Line is only running between Petone, I think it's called, and the terminus at Upper Hutt. Now, beyond Upper Hutt, the Masterton line runs with a locomotive train a few times a day, way further out to Masterton. Unfortunately, we are leaving Wellington tomorrow, and the service will not be restored till Monday, so that's another line I won't be able to film on top of the Melling Line. Now, I'm just here to do the section that is open today on the Upper Hutt line, which is basically the whole thing except the first section next to the water from the city. But we did drive on the highway next to there, and that's also part of the start of the Melling Line. So I'm just going to insert a clip of driving along that highway so you see what the water looks like there, as well as a clip at the terminus of the Melling Line at Melling Station, so you see that those two things. Alright, welcome to Melling Station. This is the terminus of the super short single track Melling spur line, operating from Wellington Station, just 4 stops out to Melling, only 6 AM to 6 PM, Monday to Friday. You can see here Wellington, that ran the middle station, Petone, and then this. Okay, 5 stations then. And yeah, terrible timetables. This is literally it. That's the whole timetable. It's like half hourly as well. So it's so bad. Unfortunately, I did not get to ride this line as I didn't do it in the first 2 weekdays. And now it's already Saturday, Sunday, and it's closed. So you can't do anything. I just wanted to show you the terminus station. So I got over here. The track is so random. It just ends here and then the freeway's right there. Buffer here. And it's just a line right next to the freeway, all the way down in the grass, and operating right next to the road. It's so weird that there's a train here right next to the cars like that, when there is, but unfortunately I didn't get to witness that, as I planned it out a bit badly and never went on it. Although there's a massive train line shutdown this weekend because it's a public holiday weekend and they're doing a lot of works and they have less staff, so almost all the lines are closed. Except the Hutt line is open on a section from Petone to the terminus, which means, unfortunately, again, I'm also not going to get to film the start section of that, which is shared with the start section of the Melling Line, as well as the Masterton line. But I did film from the car along the freeway on that start section, which is pretty much the same, so I'll insert that probably before this clip. And the Masterton line is just going to be an exception, I guess, since it's a diesel line anyway, and we won't have filmed it, only the electric lines. Yeah, this is Melling here. There's a bus stop at the front as well. Obviously no rail replacement though, because it's a weekday. other than that, we are now at Naenae Station, which is in the middle of the Hutt Line, but I just got dropped off here. And I'm going to go to the temporary terminus down near the city, and then film the full journey back up. So here's the massive underpass here at Naenae Station. It's so long, all the way under the station, and the road is actually really cool. Quite a lot of stations have good underpasses like this. The stairs are closed off, so you have to use the ramp here. Now train frequency is half hourly right now. Should be here in a minute though. I'm just gonna tag on. Oh sorry, you didn't see anything there, did you? I'm just gonna tag on here. There we go. Don't have much money left in it. That's okay, because I'm not even gonna be able to go to Masterton. Alright, I'm just gonna wait here now for the service. Alright, here we go, here comes the train, just a little 2-car. I'm not gonna film anything after this except terminating at Petone, or whatever it's called, to just see how it works during a disruption here. Because there's train replacement buses after that. So here we are at Petone Station. The train is terminated. They are using non-metallic buses for train replacement, which is actually a usual thing. So that's why you can't bring buses on them. It's like these weird coach services. Now there is actually one station between here and Wellington, which is the most random station in the middle of, like, next to the freeway and the river, and closed by the freeway on one side, the river on the other, or lake, or whatever you want to say. And that station is actually being served by this back bus, which is stopping all stations, including that obviously, while the front one is just express, which means it doesn't stop at that random station, which is so dumb that they have separate patterns. Like, it's not going to take that long to stop there, and although it probably is quite a deviation to get off out there, but that is a good connection. Look, the train terminated and everyone just quickly heads down and onto buses. Off they go now. They're both leaving, but now, yeah, it's a very stupid disruption. I don't really know what they're doing, but the whole Wellington station has no trains. Now we're gonna take the current, what is full journey from Petone to Upper Hutt back on the same train. And yeah, the first section I just can't film, unfortunately, as I said. So here it is. Now it's gonna be completely empty, although it's still like 10 minutes till departure. And we're gonna head up. And yes, these trains are actually operated by Transdev, just like the buses in Perth, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna hop on board now. I don't know if I should tag off or not, but we'll see. Here's a look at the inside of the train while it's empty. You can see the low floor priority area in green, and then the rest of it in blue. And the guards panel and everything. Anyway, the replacement bus just came in, so it's about to get packed now. Departing Petone now.
Anyone not from the bus, please? You went on the bus? Okay. Let me sort this out. Well, try taking all the next stop.
Oh, okay.
Right, so this is the Hutt Valley Line operating between lower, well, from the city usually, but today it's just going between Lower and Upper Hutt, which are actually separate cities, not really they are suburbs of Wellington, like in terms of how suburbs work, but really they're actually outside of the Wellington metropolitan area. So this is the first station. Now we're at Ava, which is such a weird station, and that sounds like a person's name. The announcements are a bit broken because we didn't start at the city. I'm not sure where they're storing the trains overnight since they can't get to the Wellington depot. There must be some other place they can put them in between here. This is literally the only line operating all weekend. Nothing else is running. Yeah, that was wrong. We're not at Ava. We already passed it. The announcements are really bad. Let's go. Now the Masterton line does share this track all the way up for the whole line, although it only stops at 3 stops along the way, which are interchanges at Petone, where we started, Waterloo, which I think is the next stop. Yep, here. It stops here as well. This is shares its name with the London Underground station, which is so cool. This is Waterloo. It stops here, that massive locomotive train to Masterton. and then at the terminus at Upper Hutt as well. Now passengers can use the Masterton train to get to Upper Hutt and the Waterloo, although they'll have to pay a fare of as if they're going to the station after Upper Hutt on the Masterton line. So it's a more expensive fare for a faster and more comfortable ride on that train. But if sometimes you want a bit of a better journey, you can pay for that, even though that service is pretty scarce. Yeah, I'm annoyed the announcements are not working, so we can't capture them. This is Epuni Station. Okay, off we go. Now the next stop is Naenae, where I got on before, and that took like 40 minutes because it waited 15 at Petone. Alright, we're back at Naenae now, finally. And here's the next station. This one is Wingate. So on the Epuni coastline, so many of the stations are P's, and here there's so many W's. So it's the third one already. Yeah, switch sides now so you can see the platforms and the hills. This one's not as scenic as the other lines, it is much more suburban, but it's still pretty good. Seagulls fighting in the middle of the tracks there. Although this bit's quite ugly, you can see all the graffiti and industry. And here's the next stop. This one is called Taita. Oh, there's a bus depot here. All just pretty basic small buses though. Yeah, this section reminds me a lot of like the Armadillo Line near Maddington, very industrial, passing by all the factories. Pomare Station. You can see all the clouds, all the mist over there. That's the clouds which are already up in the hills. And crossing the river is a very nice river here, cutting all through the Hutt Valley area. A cycling train there as well. It's trail, not train. Reaching some good speeds here. I think the whole thing is double track, which it should be, because it's quite a major commuter line all to all these areas. But then after, once it heads out to Masterton, it definitely isn't double anymore. So yeah, here we cross the river just to serve the station at Manor Park, and then we go back to the other side, which is actually right next to the freeway. Plus, there's actually a road which leads over to the Epuni coastline from here. So if someone is trying to get there and like that line's closed, you can perhaps come here and then get picked up and be taken there. It is a pretty ugly station with some massive ramps, and then after this it goes back to the other side of the river. So that means, because this is on this side of the river and there's no road bridge across it, only like pretty close to here, only a rail bridge, it's very inaccessible. So the train replacement buses actually don't stop here. Meanwhile, and there's a shuttle service running from the next station, it's Silverstream I think it is, to serve this station when this line is closed, just for this station, because it doesn't go here to avoid wasting time. And you can see on there they actually have a completely different sign for the public transport, which says Hutt Valley Public Transport. So it's all about Hutt Valley. They're treating it as a separate city. It doesn't even show Wellington Public Transport. It's only showing this train line and the buses around here. Now, overall train replacement buses in Wellington do seem very good. Whenever they're on, they're on pretty casually, and by that I mean in most places they're still advertised as a train. They're shown on the train displays. They have a separate platform at Wellington labeled as platform 10, and they're shown in the timetables as well. Sometimes to take the same amount of time as the train, which is actually possible here in Wellington, because the interchanges, they don't have to loop in and they can go on the highway, and they actually take the same amount of time, or just slightly a few minutes. But I've seen in some timetables where almost the whole line it's the same as the train, and then it's just a little bit slower towards the end near the city, which is actually so weird, because what's even the point of having trains then if the bus is that good? I mean, I know trains are better, but like the bus is like almost just as efficient anyway. But yeah, train is much nicer. You know, it is getting pretty cloudy and rainy and windy, typical Wellington weather, and we've been lucky to have quite a few days of sun now, and we're leaving tomorrow, so it's pretty much it. Didn't spend long here, but there's not really much to do. It's still a pretty small city, even though it is the capital of New Zealand. But at least I rode the train lines I could, and actually had quite a good look at the bus network. I went all over with buses. Oh, there's another train passing us. And we crossed the river again. Just another 2-car. I think they're only running 3, maybe 4 2-car units up and down today, which is literally one 8-car unit, which is what ran on the Kapiti coastline yesterday. Just Kapiti line, I don't know what they want to call it. Yeah, see how misty it is up there? So yeah, looked at the bus network, went in the cable car, didn't run the ferry. Maybe I can still go tomorrow in the morning before we leave. But honestly, I mean, I haven't been to Auckland, but I know more about Wellington, and I just like the feeling of it better. I do like Wellington a lot. Whoa, it's a wide platform. Okay, this is now Silverstream, where that shuttle service runs from. I really do wish though they would invest in making a southern train line going all the way through where all the buses serve in the main Wellington city areas, just south of the city near the airport. It would probably have to be underground, especially considering the terrain around there. But they do already have a lot of tunnels here. Literally the Masterton line has a 10-kilometer tunnel. So it wouldn't be that bad. Like, if they managed to build that, surely they could build that, which would be used way more throughout the city, replacing some of the high-frequency bus services they have, and actually having a southern line instead of all the trains just going north and being useless to anyone staying within the metropolitan Wellington area, apart from Johnsonville line. But anyway, quite a shame. I just saw a sign there, bells off 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. But trains do run after that time, so what does that mean? Between those times, it's like I'm trying not to make noise to the residents, but you have to be super careful because there'll be no warning of the train coming. another quite terrible looking station with the asphalt. This is Heretaunga. Oh, it started to really pick up the rain here now. Might get a bit of a rainy ride in a second. What is that exit? Oh my gosh. It's so bad. Starting to hear some strong rain hitting the train. See, this is a much nicer station compared to the previous one. Actually, tactile platforms. This is Trentham, and a good shelter. That's funny. I just heard someone in the train. Their name was Ava, which is the same as the station name. Imagine living or like having your local station be your name. That's so weird. Okay, departing again. Wallaceville, another W station, and there's a fence in between the tracks here. It's weird, but a good platform again. A lot of people getting off here. And yeah, this is the second last stop. We're now going to Terminate. I just come to the back of the train because it's completely empty. I just realized. So let's take the final section over to Upper Hutt. Honestly, this is quite a boring, basic line. The other ones are way cooler than this. Even the Melling Spur would be cool because, well, the first section of it along the water, which we missed out on, is probably the best bit. And the Melling Spur is just that, and then being a spur line so short makes it cool as well. Johnsonville is up in the hills, it's quite bendy but still short. That's a very nice one. And the Kapiti line is very long, also with great view, so that's a good one. And that's pretty much it. This one's just very suburban. And then of course, a few times a day, Masterton extended line from Upper Hutt. So thanks for watching this video. I know it's pretty sad I couldn't film the first section. I just got a few of the views out of the car window. I really didn't plan ahead for this, and it was very poorly advertised, and I only just realized last night how bad it is. That they actually closed all the lines, which really doesn't make sense. Is that just because they need guards and they're not working because it's public holiday, so they just do this? Because if so, that's really stupid. Okay, we're arriving. Oh yeah, there is a train depot here. There's a whole depot of extra tracks here, so they can just park here overnight. That's why this line's running. The other ones don't have a depot like this, do they? Because if they don't want them to be running through Wellington, then this is, I guess, the only one they can run, I think. So this is where they park them all, even though it's literally just sidings. So there's a lot of trains here though. And this is it, Upper Hutt. Actually a really basic station. I thought it would be more grand. I have no idea what they looked like. We'll just look at the map. On day one we filmed Johnsonville Line, then we filmed this one which skips that, obviously in the tunnel, and goes to Waikani, and today we just filmed from here Petone to Upper Hutt. We missed out on this spur, on this first section with the abandoned station in between there, and the entire Masterton line with the 3 interchanges terminating all the way down here, way beyond Upper Hutt. Open the doors, and we're here. This is Upper Hutt Station. That took quite a while, 30 minutes. It's raining. There's a lot of trains in the depot though. Little 2-car here at Upper Hutt again. And actually quite a nice hut for the platform. Alright, and that's it with Wellington train videos. We will be moving on to Auckland though now. That's really cool. We have 2 cities featured, which are the only 2 New Zealand cities with suburban train networks. Let's tag off, see how much that cost me. This is an adult card, unfortunately. 2. Okay, that's fine. $2 because I didn't tag off at Petone. And there's a few buses here, but yeah, that's it. So wait, so if it was $2 for adult, child is 75% off, that would have been 50 cents. That's so cool. Literally 50 cents for all that train riding. Unfortunately it was $2 because I only have 1 card and we all had to use it. Anyway, this is Upper Hutt. You can see the misty hills over there. Nice little town center. Nice little terminus. Yeah, it is actually a better station building here than the start of the platform. But that's everything. And here's just a quick look at the rather major Silverstream Station, where the shuttle bus to Manor Park departs from. There's a few bus stops out on the main road over there, which is parallel to the train line almost the whole way. And you access here, you literally have these big bells for this crossing, even though it's a pedestrian one only. I mean, it's major in terms of its location and what it serves, but the station is pretty trashy. And look at that curved platform. You would never see platforms like this in Perth. And all the platforms are so long, they do not have the problem of not having enough platform length for a long train like we do in Perth. All the heritage lines can't even take a C series or 6 car. But instead they have the problem with gaps of the platform, of course, because they're so non-level and curvy. But there is a great view on all sides at the bushy hilltops over there. Up there, you can see the clouds are already up there. On this side, and the gates are already dinging. We have a train coming in. This is going to be the train we were on. We've actually beaten it by driving back because we have a car now. So that's pretty funny. You're going to see the same driver again. And you'll be like, what? Here it is. tiny little train compared to the platform. And it's got a custom scrolling desto, all stops to Petone on it. And the other direction's coming through as well. And as I did for Melling Station, we are now at Masterton Station, another station that I could not film because unfortunately there is the closure this weekend. But we have driven all the way up here on our way up north through the island, and I just wanted to take a look at the terminus quickly. This is zone 14. The train's actually here, so that's really cool. That's way better than the other train used for the, well, for the long distance. Is definitely better. And yeah, it's pretty long and all the seats on there. Those are the passenger carriages, and the locomotive is on the other side. But unfortunately there is a shutdown this weekend and on Monday, which is the public holiday. So this is the terminus in the town. of Masterton. There's actually 3 stations in this town, but the other 2 just serve like industrial areas. And there's quite a lot of tracks here because it does continue as the freight line, but for passenger trains this is the actual terminus, while Upper Hutt is the terminus for electric trains. And here's a very simplified map of the rail network. Kapiti, Johnsonville, Melling, Hutt Valley, and the extension to... Oh, it's actually called the Wairarapa Line. But obviously the terminus is Masterton. There's actually toilets here. Someone's in there, cleaners. But yeah, that's the train that would have operated the service. Unfortunately, I'm not getting to ride it. It even has curtains in it and stuff. It's so cool. So it's just parked in the depot here at Masterton Station. Town centre 1 kilometre away. And here's the timetable. So to Wellington on Mondays to Fridays. There is 3 services early in the morning, 5:46, 6:20, 6:47. And then... Oh, there's a sticker. Yeah, and then there's 2 in the afternoon, and then we have 10:30 a.m. and 3:38 p.m. But these ones are buses at the moment, and these are the morning, and these are the services in the other direction. 1 in the morning, and then the rest in the evening. 1 on Friday only, coming here at 5 past midnight. That's ridiculous. Saturday and Sunday there's only 2 services, 7:45 and 4:45 p.m. and 9:55 from Wellington and 6:55 p.m. from Wellington. I don't know what this is, why there's like permanently bus marked in here. Is it like permanently run by a bus? But everything this weekend is run by a bus. Buses replace services until approximately 4:30 p.m. on Monday, and buses replace all services on Sunday 21 January, as you can see here. So the bus will be here at 4:45 p.m. for the Sunday service. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate that it's just this day, but I definitely couldn't have taken it in the first 2 weekdays because it's so far and I'd waste like the whole day riding this train line. So today was the only possible time, since we're driving up anyway. But I would have had to take the morning service at 10 a.m, which is already quite early from Wellington, and then get here at 12. But right now it's 2:30, so yeah, the plans changed quite a bit. So quite a grand front entrance. Anyway, that's it. I filmed a little section along the line through the town here from the car again, but there's not really much more I can say. It's just the longest line, the only passenger one operated by diesel trains here, and with the super long 10-kilometer tunnel through the mountains, which we drove on that mountain road before. It literally took like 30 minutes to cross it, in the most winding, dangerous road ever. Meanwhile, the train just expressed through. I'd really love to see that. But we saw a similar thing on the Kapiti coastline, really long tunnel as well. Anyway, bye.